What's happening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Stars of Tomorrow, an FM20 Wonderkids series where we look at some of the young players on Football Manager 2020. I'll struggle with that, and see how they get on over the course of their careers. And all these players are players that you guys have asked me to take a look at and see how they get on. I don't know why I always struggle with that intro. Every time I do it, I never get it right. I always struggle with it. I don't have a clue why. Any of the intro I'm fine with. So, hopefully you're enjoying the series, guys. If you're enjoying it, hit the like button down below and leave a comment as well on a play you want to look at. I would say two things. One, look at the list of players already been done and make sure that we've not already done that player. And also, bear in mind, at the moment, there is a big, massive list of players I'm working through. So, it's not going to be like in 2 days time you get your player reviewed, unless you've obviously been a request earlier. But I do reply to every comment that's left on this kind of thing to let you know. I reply to say I've seen your comment and I've acknowledged it. Then I reply to say later on when I've done the episode and scheduled it when it's going to go live, so you get an idea when you're going to see your episodes. Just to be fair to you guys, unless you don't really mind, it's like, well, when I request, I'll see it when I see it. But I like to be. It's just my way of doing things. I like to let people know when their request's going to be done. And also, I can't guarantee if you make like 5 requests in one go. To be fair to people, I can't always guarantee I'll do every single player that you request on that. I'll try and get through with people's first, then they'll go back to yours when we've not got more requests and that kind of thing. So then it's fair, it's only fair that if someone put 8 players down, it'd be like a month till you saw your video, and it's like, that's not really fair, is it? But then again, if we get 8 players, then fantastic, it's more work for me. So Xavi Simons is a player from Holland who plays for PSG. He's 325k. Semi-fielder / DM, dictates tempo and dives into tackles. So you could argue this already indicates to me he could be a Paul Scholes kind of player, or could be like a Roy Keane kind of player. Aggression 15, so that would be something I'd be aware of. But again, that kind of leans into the whole dives in tackles. Again, if you want to make him a playmaker, you can maybe get that off him maybe early on. Again, I'm always speculating here. Very basic stats, but looking pretty good for a 16-year-old player. So, how long's been at PSG for? Let's have a look here. He joined for a free transfer this summer. So interesting. Has he got a contract with his clause? No, he hasn't. So obviously, bear that in mind. All that information there. First jump. Let's go. So, folks, he's 20 years old, and we've seen a good, steady increase across the board at this point. This is a good state to be at for a 20-year-old, in my opinion. If I saw this guy at 20 years old, I'd be buying him. Passing up to 14, tackling 13, techniques 14. He's looking pretty good, guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy develops. Now, let's have a look at what he's been doing. Injury-wise, has he been injured at all, really? Oh, God, the game's a bit glitchy here. Okay, we've got one injury for 2 months and a hip to his hip injury for 2 months after a game against Dortmund under 19s. Apart from that, pretty much okay. So let's have a look. Obviously, he's not been in the PSG main team much. PSG, he's been playing a lot of football in the under 18s, so that's good. Obviously, 3 goals, 7 assists in that particular season in the reserves. Then you see the first team here occasionally, not much football there, but he's been getting a bit of exposure in the. I misread the PSG, Paris SG. You see PSG, not Paris SG. He's been given a bit of exposure in the first team, but not overloaded it. Loving the teamwork, loving the vision. Looking at the stats here, I'm leaning more towards being a playmaker. But again, I'm looking at the aggression. I'm looking at the teamwork, the work rate, and the tackling. There's definitely a possibility of him being a ball-win midfielder in there. The only thing was is the aggression, and I don't like diving tackles. But again, I've had centre-backs with 20 aggression, never getting a card in the season. So I think, for me personally, if you get the anticipation up really high as well, then that would help me feel more secure about having him play that role. So yeah, with £8 million now, contract information shows there's no release clause in there. So, next jump. Let's go. So folks, he's now at, I'm assuming, Deportivo La Coruna. Yes, he is. And we're seeing he's definitely a playmaker for me. But he looks really good. I mean, I'm liking him a lot. We've got the 15 passing and 15 technique, the leadership at 16, already for 24, which is very good. 17 vision makes me, again, not the anticipation of the 15 now, which, again, I think you could make him a ball midfielder, but maybe they focus more on making him a playmaker. And the physicality is good overall. I like 15 pace minimum of my players, but that's a personal preference. I don't think you need it in a centre midfielder, really, if you play, especially playing a two-man midfield or where the other guys got a lot of energy around him, or you playing a three-man midfield where he's just basically playing passes simply from deep. That's fine. Plays 1-2s now on his player traits. Injury records, have a look on him here. Again, nothing worrying me there. How was he done with transfer-wise? So we see here pretty much the same pattern we had before. Not really getting much first-team football in the French PSG first team, but that's no effect on him. I think that's just the fact they got a really good team, probably. A free transfer, Deportivo La Coruna got 7 goals, 9 assists in his first season there in the second division. Then went to the first division and got 4 goals, 11 assists. So this guy looks good. He looks really, really good. I think definitely someone's going to snap him up. Contract clause of £56 million on him. So yeah, let's continue, guys, and let's see if he moves anywhere. But it's a £25 million. Deportivo's a smart buy here. Whatever they're selling for, they're making profit. Well, folks, he's now at Napoli worth 33.5, and it's basically the same stats as before. So basically, guys, just to relay, just to not jump back again, this is his prime. So this is his prime. This is the stats we're going to focus on a lot more. So this is basically his prime age now, and I think we're seeing a quality player here. So injury record, let's have a look. Again, nothing standing out there as worrying for me particularly, so I wouldn't get too worried about that. So how do you do? So Deportivo sold him for £32.5 million. First season at Inter Milan in Serie A, got 1 goal, 8 assists. Then got 2 goals, 2 assists. Then 2 and 1. And then they moved him on to Napoli. And the first year there, he got 8 goals and 14 assists for £10.5 million. So rising to possibly 13.5 with add-ons. Yeah, solid player. I think he's one of those players that's going to be just a consistent performer in your team. Looking at this, I like this guy a lot. Especially for the low fee that Deportivo got him for. Milan maybe been idiots with him, because they didn't play him as much as they should have done. But this guy looks really, really good. So, has he got a contract clause in his contract? No, he hasn't. Again, continue, another jump. Right, guys, he's 32 years old, and we're seeing, actually, I think these are his best stats, if I'm honest, because, well, maybe not, I don't know. As you can see now, he's at Man City. 17 passing, 16 technique, and the rest of the people is the same. Obviously, physicality, we ignore that because it's 30 years old. It's going to drop off. It's going to drop off naturally. Injury record, let's have a look. Okay, a bit more down here, but that's near in his career. I was saying that. Just saying that. There's big space between his injuries up here, so okay. I don't think it's anything to worry about particularly. To be honest with you. How has he done? So Napoli, we saw first season 8 goals, 14 assists, 7 goals, 17 assists. Then they moved him on clearly that summer or that season to £72 million to Man City. He got 5 goals, 10 assists. Then he got 5 assists next season, and then obviously 2 and 4. I think the injuries maybe have kicked in a bit more that period there. So look, so 33, 34, 35. Yeah, you see a 2-month injury there for a concussion. But again, I think there's maybe City just buying on mass quality players and maybe he's getting phased out. Really good player, I think. Really good player. Looking at the transfer fees, reasonably priced as well. I think that's a bit steep. Maybe. But again, it's not that bad. If it's in installments, it's great. That's a good bargain. The bargains were these two here, weren't there? The 13.5 and the free transfer here were the bargain deals for this guy. solid player. Could be made into a ball midfielder, I think, with the fact that he likes to dive in tackles. So you can work on that. I think he's multiple. He's got two ways you can go with him. I think obviously he's got the eye for the pass. So if you are playing, if you are counter-attacking and he's got the vision and the range on there, he could really dictate your tempo, and because he likes to do that, obviously. But I think he's a good player, and it was really fascinating review of him. I think there's definitely a lot of ways you can go with him. I think you can play him in the CM, you can play him in DM, you could make him maybe a ball in midfield if you wanted to. But yeah, I think it's key to get him early on to try and avoid the spike in the prices. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much for the suggestion, for the guy who made the suggestion to do this player. Next episode, I forget what the player is, but I'm currently working on it right now. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, and if you want to see more from these reviews, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you want to leave a player, like I said, leave that player at the bottom in the comment section. But like I said, check the list, and obviously I'll apply it to update you on if and / when I'm going to do that player and when he's going to be released. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.